Hello, welcome to the queue. Game 4 of the lockdown. Britain, turn 1. This is a 1940 setup of BBR. And as usual, Britain has a lot to do, but can't do it all. So, we'll do what we can and see what happens on the next turn. For their purchases, they have spent $4 on the tech, leaving $34 for 4 infantry, 1 factory, 1 fighter for an even 34. All right, slide that out of the way. And combat. Of course, it's Italy. That's who gets attacked. So, as you can see here, we're going to come over and hit this destroyer transport with a fighter and a cruiser. And slide it down here. We're going to hit Tobruk here. This fighter coming off of Malta. And this tactical off of the carrier. They both have 2 left. We have all 4 units from El Alamein going in, along with 1 mech racing across the desert. That is that attack. So getting these off the board as we go. Oh, wait a minute. That was a non-com. Can't forget my non-com moves. All right, so 1, 2 attacks. The 3rd attack. This one lone dude is going into Ethiopia. Good luck, sir. Actually, we're going to bring infantry artillery on the transport with a cruiser bombard. Zipping on over into that. The last attack is a walk-on for no points, no value, nothing. But will come into play later in the game. All right, those are non-coms. And I gotta get this Russian box out of the way. It's blocking some view here. So let me set that down. What it's blocking is some of my non-coms from the Pacific side. Whoop, let's zoom out so we can get the box in here. Force and rolling. Step it back a second. All right, so 3 battles for rolling dice, that is, are in the viewfinder. So let's start with the amphib, because I think that's the rule. Naval and then, or an amphib naval, or naval amphib. Might be naval first, but there's no ships in that sea zone, so the Allies are attacking with an infantry, artillery, an infantry, and a bombard from the cruiser. So, let's see what happens here. Wow. Okay. Here comes the Italian response, which is 3 2s. And of course. So now, I'll take the infantry from the amphib. Already planning a retreat. That's so like the British. All right, so now that puts them down to 2 at 2. Oh my gosh. The Italians at 3 at 2. Unbelievable. Retreat. Oh man. The British have bitten off more than they can chew. So the next naval battle, I've got a 3 for the cruiser and a 3 for the fighter. 2 hits, hooray. So those 2 ships are gone. The Italians get to return fire with a 2. Of course. All right. sakes alive. My first thought was to bring that bomber in case I did have to take a hit. Of course, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. All right, we are in a pickle here. Now we're going to have to lose that cruiser. All right. Nothing's going as planned. Therefore, this last battle will be a total slaughter. All right, so we have a 4 for the tactical, a 3 for the fighter, 3 for the tank. I have an infantry, artillery, and then I have a mech and an infantry by themselves. If there's any justice, I will get all hits. Oh my gosh, there's no justice at all. There is none. There is absolutely no justice at all. 2 infantry go away. All right, so I almost can't believe what's going on here. All right, so there was 3 infantry. There's a mech and an artillery and a tank. One hit. All right, well, that ain't too bad. So we'll lose an infantry. All right, so we have the same roll as before. 2 3s, a 4, 2 2s, and a 1. You gotta be kidding me. Who's rolling these dice anyway? All right, so the infantry and mech disappear. All right, so my assumption is the infantry and mech, because if they survive, there would be a counterattack of a 2. But he might actually want that mech. I would keep the artillery because, you know, a bad roll here, and if Egypt pulls back, then you have that 2 for the counterattack. All right, so they have 3 at 2 and a 3 for the tank. 1 hit. All right, so there won't be any retreating. So it didn't matter because I got to believe they're both going to die, right? All right, so now we've got 2 2s, 2 3s, and a 4. Whoops. I got to have a 3. All right, there we go. Thank you. Would have liked to have had that on the first roll. All right, so the Italians defend with a 2 and a 3. And they get 1. Of course they do. All right, so that'll be the mech. Or will it? No, it won't. It will be the artillery. All right, so we do take it. No points. That's just dandy, Jim Dandy there. All right, get this stinking dice tray off the table. These dice need to go in the trash. All right, so non-coms. Let's land our planes. And we're going to keep with the plan, only it's reduced. We're going to take, well, I just said we're going to land planes, so let's land planes. We're going to put, you know what? We're not going to do that. This plane will land on this carrier because it had 1 left, so that carrier stays. And these 2 will land in Cairo. They had 2 left. All right. I love changing on the fly. That's just a thing of beauty here. All right, so no other planes were involved. So we're going to come over, grab the infantry, anti-aircraft gun and go back. We were at a naval base, so we can move 3. So now we've got that. That one's out of the way. So originally, my plan was to, because I would have a cruiser and I could block all but 1 warship. And I can still do that, I just only have this in that C zone. It's just going to be a little more punishing than I thought. We'll still do that. So we'll move our cruiser to Malta and our destroyer up here to Cyprus. All right. Not happy, not happy, not happy, not happy. In the south here, this destroyer comes up to C Zone 81. These 2 infantry rail up to Sudan. All right, kick in the butt. All right, so on the north side of London, let's get all that in the viewfinder here. All right, so we have a bomber bringing 2 infantry, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So the 2 infantry are dropped off in Gibraltar. 2 fighters will be swinging down to Gibraltar. This destroyer in 109, 1, 2, 3. So we're contesting the med, that's for sure. All right, this destroyer goes into 110. I have a battleship cruiser that will slide over into 109. And anti-aircraft gun and fighter down into London. All right, so that is all our shenanigans there. And I am thinking right now of changing my med situation. Let's get some movement over here. Dice cup out of the way. Battleship at a naval base. 1, 2, 3. It's off of West India there. And I'm going to knock a Japanese over because he's got a bayonet that always sticks you. All right, so these 2 guys and the fighter going in. 1 anti-aircraft gun is railing down to Malaya. And these 2 attack and fighter are flying. And they are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, land in the Caucasus. All right, so as I look at everything's moved. I got all the markers. I've got chaos here. And now to rethink my plan here. So I guess if I stay there, then all the Italian Navy can hit that, but then they'll be out in the open to be destroyed next turn, which is good. That's good. I like that. So or I could do that and strand 3 Italian ships in one of those sea zones and 1 in 98 for easier pickings. I think I'll still leave it. All right. All that for naught because probably all those units are headed to Russia anyway. But we'll see. Italy is next. So that is the end of a non-combat movement. And we've got a factory here in Egypt. We have a fighter in London, an infantry in London, and 3 infantry in South Africa. I was going to do something else with them. Oh, you know what? I think I'll just use 2 there. See what I got. I'm going to put 2 infantry in London and 2 in South Africa. And now I've got to do a recap. And we'll be done with this nasty turn. And I'm going to take some aspirin and I'm going to take a nap, even though it's the middle of the afternoon here. All right, so let's zoom in. Yeah, maybe that's too much. In London, we have 5 anti-aircraft guns, 2 fighters, 2 infantry, 1 mech. There's also 2 French, soon to be 2 Canadians, and a French fighter. C-Zone 110 is a destroyer. C-Zone 109, transport, cruiser, battleship. All right, coming down to Gibraltar. I have 2 infantry, 2 fighters. C-Zone 92, 1 destroyer. French West Africa, 1 bomber that is actually a transport. Doesn't really matter because nobody can hit it, so I won't mark it. Well, we'll mark it with the 0. There we go. But no one can attack that anyway. All right, moving on. In C-Zone 96, 1 cruiser. C-Zone 99, 1 destroyer. C-Zone 98, 1 carrier, 1 fighter. And C-Zone 81, 1 destroyer, 1 transport. C-Zone 76, 1 transport, 1 cruiser. Sudan, 3 infantry. Italian Tobruk, tank, mech. Egypt, Cairo, 2 infantry, 1 AA, 1 artillery, 1 fighter, 1 tactical, and 2 Canadians, or Anzac, however you want to call that. South Africa, 2 infantry. Eastern Iran, 1 infantry. Caucasus, fighter, tactical. West India, nothing. I don't know why I said that. C-Zone 79 is a battleship. C-Zone 39 is a destroyer. There are 7 infantry in India. 2 AA, 1 fighter. Malaya is 3 infantry, a fighter, and 1 Anzac. Kwangtung, completely surrounded and feeling vulnerable, 2 infantry. And that is it for Britain turn 1, and it was a disaster. I don't care how you slice it.